Hi folks, it appears my face is too close to the screen for anybody's good. Let me back this up just a little bit before I frighten people better. How y'all doing? Church for the Narcissistically Abused with your host for the night, just me. Hi Kelly. Renda has the night off, and Jerry will be. Hi Sarah. Jerry will be back in about 3 weeks, and we'll do a show together. Hey Jackie. I'm telling you where they're at. Jerry. Hey Zach. Hey Electrifying. Jerry's going to be on the show once a month when we're in town. If you can look in the background, this is my office at the beach. So we're back at the beach, and I'm glad to be here. Hi Stephanie, good to see you. I have three questions, long questions. Hi Sandra. Three long questions to answer. You know what? I would be outside, but it's cold. We got back to the beach. No, it's not warm and sunny. It's supposed to be 70 something tomorrow, or Thursday. It's supposed to be 70. Hi, Kate Nadine. But as it turns out, I've got clients all day on Thursday. But this weekend, Easter weekend, it's supposed to be 66 and sunny. So I suppose Renda and I are going to be on the beach quite a lot. So I'm tired, and I'm going to try not to act super goofy. You know how I get when I'm tired. I'm going to try to stay focused and on task. I do have the rubber chicken here in the beach. So squirrel. She remembers the squirrel thing. Like I said, I'm tired. We drove back, and we thought it would be a better trip because we weren't hauling a trailer. But and with the trailer, he's soaring. We could only go 55 miles an hour, and it took us 13 hours. But with this trip, we didn't leave till 4 o'clock, and I drove long and hard till about 1:30, and my substitute driver, my wife, was sleeping. So we pulled over on the side of the road behind a barn and slept. Hi, Molly. Molly's new. Give her the new person treatment, folks. Greet Molly. So we left about 4, and we didn't get here till 1:30 the next day, and we're both tired and grumpy we were. So, and then Saturday I watched basketball. I'm in second place in my pool, and I'm either going to win second or third out of 350. I might win second and third out of 350. So how about those apples? I'm feeling pretty happy about that. Hi Michelle from Australia. Hi Danny. Australia. Isn't that funny how I can plug in an iPad, and next thing you know, somebody from Australia is watching our show? We live in wonderful times. Wonderful times. Hello, mate. So, we did have some time off. Renda and I got on the motorcycle yesterday, and even though it was 55 degrees, we were tooting along, and actually we had marriage counseling session, and as I pulled in to marriage counseling, I saw gravel, and I was probably only going 10 miles an hour, but you can't even go 10 miles an hour and cut at an angle in gravel, real thick gravel. So boom, down we go. I've been riding motorcycles since 1973, and I've probably given rides to quite a few ladies, and I never have gone down on a bike with a female companion. But Renda was none worse for the wear, and I was none worse for the wear, and the bike was none worse for the wear. But I'm going to stay away from that gravel. That gravel will get you. What's lake fire, Jackie? I don't know what the lake fire is. I might be due for the lake of fire someday if I don't watch myself. So today I saw 8 zillion clients and did a little storming with the practice. We're really excited about, we found a new Bob Seger who wants to go to the Lake of Fire. I'll have to listen to that. We'll have to listen to that. Molly loves motorcycles. I've got a Harley tattoo here somewhere. Oh, that's my rider tattoo with Snoopy. And then I got a Harley tattoo right up. This is my Dallas Cowboy tattoo. And that's my, I got other tattoos, but I can't show them to you in good public company. I'll get in trouble. So we're excited about, we found a new home for Family Tree. Renda and I live right near 86th Street. We found an office on 86th Street in Indianapolis. You impressed with my muscles, Jackie, that they're so big? Is that what you're saying? Are the muscles so? That's not what you were saying, was it? Yay to Snoopy. She was impressed with Snoopy. So, but we found the perfect sized office, and it's a lot more economical, and it's beautiful, and there's lots of great restaurants around. One of our fellows, Andy, can walk to work in 2 minutes. So I'm thrilled at our new home. We're not moving in until September 1st, but I needed to, sort of get the deal done. And so we know what we're doing. We know where we're going, and exciting times. It's good to be back, even though it's been cold. I have this hot tub out there, and I turn on the light, and it turns blue. And I have all kinds of lights and strobe lights and lasers that fill up the whole backyard. It's like a wonderland of light show and hot tub and palm tree. It's delightful. Being on my patio is like being in Disney World, I'm telling you. Okay, so I'm going to start with Kate. Man, we have 3 questions here. 4, 5, 6. No, 5. We have 6 questions. I was misinformed. I'm not rubbing it in. I'm just happy. So I'm going to read this one last because I have printer issues and I don't want to start with one that's all goobered up by the printer. Okay, are y'all ready for some questions? So, Renee. Hi, Renee. Let me get another slurp of my vitamin water and we'll be off. Jackie's hot tub is her bathtub. Back in Indianapolis with our condo, we have a jacuzzi tub inside. But you got to fill that rascal up each time. It's a lot of work, but I'm grateful for it. Okay, so this is Kate. The question is, I know that we are all human. Some of us wonder if we are all human, if some of these narcissistic monkeys, characters, knuckleheads, are quite fully human. The one I was involved with, I don't think she was human quite at all. Anyway, I'm digressing off of Kate's question. I know that we are all human and we all make mistakes here and there. My question for the day. Kate's question of the day. Jilligan! Hi, Renee. My question for the day is, why do a lot of people say it is always about you when I try to explain why I feel or think the way I do about certain family situations? Human monster, Kate Nadine says. Okay, Kate, I don't know how to answer this question because I don't know you and I don't know your family. I saw a thing on Facebook the other day that made me laugh, and I couldn't disagree with it more. It said 100% of the time, if somebody is criticizing you, they're just projecting their issues onto you. And I thought, that's the biggest pile of bullshit I ever heard, and it's probably put out by a victim of a narcissist. And they just, hey, I got to turn my thing on here so I can see your questions. And they just took it too far. 100% of the time, when people call you on your shit, they're not projecting. Depending on who you are and what your issues are, dude, they're anywhere from 90% correct to 0% correct. It just depends on the situation. So, I'm messing up here. Okay. Soren says that is some bullshit. I gotta get my keyboard out. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. So, see if I can scroll down there. Well, that's not working either. Technical issues. Sorry, there it is. There's the button I was looking for. Brenda did get her car from Atlanta. She won't let me drive it. It's our car, and we're buying it together, but she won't let me drive it. By the way, here's a funny story. Brenda didn't think it was very funny. She was concerned that I'm a knucklehead and I do stupid stuff. And she didn't want me driving her SUV because I do stupid stuff and I scratch it up. So I was taking her to the airport, and I pulled out to take her out of the parking spot to take her, and a pole jumped out from behind me and scraped off her mirror altogether. Ripped it right off. She didn't think that was funny either. But I got it fixed. So, but yeah, Brenda got her car. Chilligan is that bullshit. Nice. So the answer to your question, Kate Nadine, is it always, people, when they say it's always about you, there are some people I know, it is about them. They're oblivious. They're victim-y. They're in denial. Mark Smith is an insurance risk, that's for damn sure. They are, in the Bible it says, do not strongly rebuke a mocker lest they hate you. So, hey Tawana, so what's a mocker? It's somebody who has shame and defensiveness, and they're defended and they're arrogant and they're aggressive and they rage. So with some people, if people are saying it's about you, they're right. And then in other situations, I've been in relationships where it really wasn't about me at all. But I was so beat down by my mother growing up, and I was so beat down by my fiance for 6.5 years that I really, really, really did believed that they were right, and it wasn't me. So I hope that helps. Vanessa says, does anyone really get past the hurt from a trauma that a narcissist caused? Excuse me, big breath. After 4 months of no contact with my narcissist mother, I feel better. But how do I just get to the place of not letting it affect me that she doesn't really care about me? Does that ever go away, or do we just learn how to cope with it? I know my recovery is still really new, but wondering about others who are further along. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? I see those questions, peeps, but I'm here by myself, so I'll do my best. But I wanna do these here first, and then I'll come back. So we'll address things as we go along. So I will say this, Vanessa. I certainly was damaged by my mother's narcissism as I was growing up. She was a pretty nasty character, borderline. I've got this one video about my mother, and I get older ladies all the time. They either say, "Oh, I'll be your mom," or they say, "Your mother should rot in hell." One or the other. I just think that's funny. So yeah, I was harmed in childhood. Hey Aga. Hey Annie. We'll get to your question, Annie. But my main trauma is that my pain came out in this shattering 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years in on the 26th day of April, and it'll be 3 years. And you know what? I feel fantastic. I'm tired. I got too many clients. I don't play enough basketball. I get fussy with my wife. Nothing's perfect, but I'm telling you what, there's not only light at the end of the tunnel, there's a whole sunshine at the end of the tunnel. There's a big old sun fireball. I'm telling you. I never thought I would be this good, feel this good, or accomplish this much within 3 years of being utterly and completely shattered into a billion pieces. So, do we get completely past the trauma? Of course not. There's no 100%. There's no 100% healing your trauma. You're always going to have trauma. When I don't get enough sleep, we were in Costco. I have all these Costco stories. Renda and I were in Costco, and I was really tired, and it was really crowded. And finally, I just said, "Can you drive the cart? I'm going to go to the bathroom, and I'll come back and let's check out." Because I simply, I was just triggered too much. So yeah, we're always going to have symptoms, but if you continue to practice self-care and go to therapy and do EMDR and meditate and do yoga and exercise and cry and watch videos, you're going to get better. I guarantee that. Tessa, I find myself getting a little stronger after 4 years of no contact with my ex-husband narcissist. Since then, I've done a big cleanup in my life. I realized I had narcissistic friends, narcissistic family members, a narcissistic dog. I just made that part up. Basically, a bunch of people who are hurtful, disrespectful, enjoyed my pain, judged me, and invalidated me. I find myself stronger in some ways, as I said earlier, but sometimes I feel like I am in the twilight zone. I do not fit anywhere with anyone. I just want to hide and rest from my tough job. Sadly, I isolate myself from work for the past 4 years. I do solitary things to rejuvenate myself, but sometimes I feel lonely. Rarely lonely because I could be alone rather than be with harmful people, but it's hard to explain. It is like, what the heck am I doing here and where in the world do I belong? I feel like a lost lamb. Oh, people tell me all the time that I have a sweet, gentle spirit, and although I try to be tougher and not show my heart, everyone sees it. So, yep, a lost lamb running around this cold, harsh world with no one that cares about me. Oh, that's really sweet. Um, I heard a speech this week, and I put it on. I think I put it on the Facebook feed. It's some like army guy, military guy, and he says, "You want to be successful? Make your bed in the morning." And everybody laughed, but he was serious. He goes, "If you make your bed, you're paying attention to small things, and you've accomplished something, and you've set the tone for the day." And actually, I've been making the bed every day. I was doing it before him, and he's right. You get up and make the bed, and you get on a roll. And then he talked about being in training for the military, and they put him out, and they had to swim a long distance amongst sharks. And they told them, if you see a shark, don't swim away, hold your ground, don't show fear, and if they come at you, punch them right in the snoot, and they'll swim off. And he says the world is filled with sharks, and that's the way you deal with a shark. You don't swim away, you don't show them your fear, and you punch them right in their nose. I loved that. I love that. Um, Vanessa, sweetheart, you going through the world like a sweet little lamb. No, this is Tessa, my bad. Tessa, you going through the world like a sweet little gentle lamb. Honey, that ain't going to work. You know what you're going to do is you're going to get ate by lots of sharks. Not sharks, wolves. You're going to get ate by wolves, lots of them. So I would suggest that you you work on developing assertiveness, work on your codependency, heal your fear, and become a badass warrior. And when you're a badass warrior, then you can create your own safety. And when a wolf comes along, you bop him on the nose, and he'll go crying off, bleeding. And so, Tessa, keep working on yourself. Stay away from scary people, but please don't spend the rest of your life isolating. Please don't spend the rest of your life being a sweet little lamb. Pardon my language, but fuck that. Paint some Braveheart paint on your face, build your muscles up, and go out in the world and take care of business. Okay. So, where are we at here? But I was really moved by that, Tessa, that you're a lost lamb running around in this cold, harsh world with nobody who cares about you. Well, we care about you, and I'm sure that there are people who care about you, but you need to build up your muscles and uh, get ready to really whoop some ass. I'm telling you, because you don't have to be anybody's victim. You don't have to be anybody's little lamb. The thing I've noticed through this process is it's time to get strong. And sometimes you don't feel very strong. Sometimes you feel fragile. Sometimes you feel weak. Uh, but overall, what I've seen in 3 years is we who are in recovery have a fierceness, and we're the strongest people on this planet. And if we could live through what we lived through and still hold our head high, then we are men and women to be reckoned with. Next question from Carrie. I have to adjust my cough drop. Carrie, is there a term for the stage that some or all targeted persons of narcissists eventually arrive at in the end stages of the trauma recovery? The fog has lifted, the rage and anger has subsided, and with just a simmering, constant sadness coupled with getting really low when it is realized how much destruction all aspects of life have been affected by this abuse. Sorry for such a long question. Then she goes on a little bit and she says, just to make it a bit more clear, I was in hell internally for a very long time when I started to feel better. And I realized hell was now picking up my life again, amidst almost losing a job, a house, finances, friends, and family, let alone the self-sabotaging, overspending on credit to feel better, not taking care of my physical house. What is that stage of recovery? Well, I don't know, Carrie, if there's a fancy schmancy name for it that Sam Backdidden would use or the Spartan Life Coach, but I just call it effective recovery. And that's where I'm at. We call it thriving, is what we call it. There's the fancy schmancy name for it, is thriving. So if you continue to do the work, you will be thriving, and it's wonderful to thrive. So Carrie, congratulations that your fog has lifted. Your rage and anger has subsided, and there's just a simmering of sadness. Amen. My fog has lifted in my brain works better. I still can't drive a car without smashing it up or falling over on a motorcycle, evidently. But there's a whole lot less fog in my brain, and I don't have rage toward the narcissist. Sometimes if I'm working on my computer and it's acting fussy and I'm real tired, I might have rage at my computer. And I do have a simmering sadness. But yeah, we call that thriving, where you no longer lose your job, you get promotions. You no longer lose your house, you get a better house. You no longer have bad finances, you got good finances. You no longer have narcissistic friends, you have true friends. You fired the narcissist family members, and you don't self-sabotage by overspending, and you do take care of your physical health. Let me talk about this, Carrie. Let me tell you, I'm thriving. I'm thriving like a boss. I made a video like that. Nobody watched it. Because I did almost lose my career. And now my career's never been better. It's on fire. It's such a beautiful gift. I'm so grateful. Brenda and I have bought a house by the beach, and we bought a beautiful condo in Indianapolis, and I just got a great office and she bought a new car. Money's better, and we have good friends, and we stay away from the crazy family. And um, I'm working on the overspending part. I still got some issues with that, but I do work out. And when I was home, I did play a lot of basketball, and it was delightful. It was life changing. My old self was back, and I was playing against my buddy Lenny, and I hit like 5 game-winning shots in his face. Woohoo! Woohoo! Anyway, okay. Question: Dee Dee says, "Are you guys back in South Carolina?" Yes, we are, and we'll be here for a month. Okay. So those are those questions. I'm going to come back to this other one, and I'm going to go through and look at y'all's questions because I've been ignoring the community, and I don't want to get in trouble for doing that. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Y'all were talking about clothing and who wears black and stuff. Okay, I'm still backing it up, backing it up, backing it up, and I'll just commentate as I go along here. I'm still backing it up. Okay, well, we're all the way back to Wild Rose's comments. Uh, can adult children of alcoholics be good parents? Man, that's a good question. The answer is no. You bet you guys thought I was going to say yeah. No, if you've been raised by an alcoholic or a narcissist or a rager or a drug addict, you can be a better parent than your parents were to you because you've gone to therapy and recovery. So, are you going to be parent of the year and not hurt your kids? No, your kids are going to need time on the couch, on the therapy couch. But the way I look at it is if your kids leave home healthier than you did, then you're a hero and you get a ticker tape parade. Okay, Gilligan, tears bursted out of me today very unexpectedly. I was watching an old episode of Star Trek Voyager and 7, and the doctor, they were singing, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are blue. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away." Gilligan, why did that make you cry? Sung on Star Trek? I gotta hear this. You know, oh, she says it reminded me of my dog who passed away. He was my rock. So your dog was your sunshine. I didn't mean to make her cry. You didn't cry again, did you, Gilligan, by me singing the song? Oh. Oh. Yeah, when Mr. Pauly dies, I expect that the flags all around the country will be at half-mast. If Mr. Pauly dies, I think that's only reasonable. But God bless you, Gilligan. Hope I didn't make you cry. My singing might have made some of the other ones cry just because being off key and stuff. Okay. Nothing wrong with crying in church. Church for the narcissistically abused. Ain't nothing wrong with crying there. Kelly's dog manipulates her for green beans. It's an acting out dog. Aga, I'm still a little lamb with 3 wolves behind me. Aga, I don't believe that. I don't think you're a little lamb. I think you're fierce. I think you're going to eat those wolves alive. Don't sell yourself short. Tiffany, I don't run with wolves or swim with sharks at all. I've always been narc bait. Um, Sarah, one of our 5 Sarahs, when I was trying to be on a dating site at one point, I wanted to leave my narcissist a year ago, but I went back and I would ask the prospective dates if they could be any animal, what would they be? Oh my God. That would be very telling because a lower level narcissist would say a shark or a wolf or a bear, but a greater narcissist would be, I would want to be a puppy. You know, a covert narcissist, I would want to be a cute little puppy. Um, Tiffany says, I've been the sweet lamb. How many times have they killed me? Soren, it's important to be potent. Don't let people get in your way. Let them know who they are fucking dealing with, says Soren. Soren used a bad word. Tiffany, narcs are not devoid of empathy. Some of them are. They have empathy for themselves, only for what benefits them. But they do not care what happens to their targets and actually get off and enjoy their target's misery. That sucks. Gilligan says, I don't feel strong at all. Mostly I feel tired. Gilligan, I felt tired for 2 years. The first year I didn't feel tired. I felt exhausted beyond explanation of words. But as I've gotten better, I've got the energy of several people. I used to be able to see one client after my shattering, and then I'd need a 2-hour nap. Now I can see 11 in a row and snack on nuts and stuff in between and kill every one of them. In our practice, when we do good, we say, I murdered them. And so I've got the energy now to murder 11 people in a row. But the first couple years, I mean, I was very tired. So don't judge yourself, Gilligan. Be gracious. Marie says, strong is a self-love growth. Amen to that. Vanessa, I think my question was being answered when I came in. Guess I'll play for the, watch the replay. Vanessa, I killed your question. I murdered your question. But you're going to have to catch it on the flip-flop because, yeah, you missed it. You were basically talking about, is there light at the end of the tunnel? Dude, there's a fireball of light at the end of the tunnel. There's a parade and Disney fireworks and Super Bowl confetti at the end of the tunnel. I'm telling you. I'm getting toward the end of the tunnel and it's good times. It's good, I'm telling you. So, okay. Kate Nadine, narcissists don't care for the victim or the target. They are grandiose. After they get their supply from the target, they so wish they could be like. So, just saying, y'all, we're spending a lot of time talking about the narcissists, and I'd rather talk about us because we're better than the narcissists. We're smarter than the narcissist. And we're more loving than the narcissist, and we're more powerful. So let's talk about us. Vanessa says, I remind myself I've survived this long and I keep going. It's exhausting some days more than others. I was just saying that it's exhausting. Gilligan was saying how exhausted. One of my very worst symptoms of narcissistic abuse syndrome was just exhaustion that you can't even put words to. All of a sudden, Jackie says black is slimming. And I'm not wearing black tonight, I'm wearing gray. So I don't know where that came from. Are you saying, what are you saying, Jackie? Where did that come from? Tiffany, I'm tired too. Healthy relationships aren't this fatiguing, they say. I've never had a healthy one. I had one. I was married to an empath for 25 years. And that relationship wasn't fatiguing at all. But I've struggled with some drama and fatigue for other relationships since then. Electrifying, what'd you say that we could call you? I forget, you told me a name. Sandra? I had so much rage for years after being discarded. Now I'm just sad. Having rage for a while is normal. Yeah, Sandra. I don't know if I told you this last week, but I Buffalo Wild Wings was sexual addiction central for my former fiance. She would meet her boyfriend there, charge food and drinks for him on my credit card, and then also when he wasn't there, she'd pick up other guys and do God only what knows what in the parking lot. And every time I would pass that Buffalo Wild Wings, I would fantasize about throwing a rock through the window. I had that, and I carried a big rock around in my car for 3 months. So I thought about rage, but I never did actually come up to there and get the rock out of the car. I eventually just put it back where I got it. But it's normal to think about, I'm just saying. So, Soren, it's when things start to turn around. It's not perfect, but it's better. That's recovery. That's thriving. I'm telling Mike about slimming black. I must have missed something. Kate Nadine. Narcissists never can have empathy for others. They have no concern for anybody but themselves and love others. Even they can't even love their kids. They love them like objects. They are users and they project and they're lying wolves in sheep's clothing. That's true. Tawana, I've been going into a dissociative state again. I'm not sure. That happens, Tawana, where you get dissociative. We have a staff member, and she sort of disappeared a little bit. Hi, Jane. And she sort of disappeared from the practice, and we sat her down. It's because she'd been a little dissociative for several weeks. It happens. It's okay. Sarah, so how do you leave a narcissist after you tell them over and over again that you want to leave them? I felt too empathetic to just nail it shut. We don't answer how questions here, Sarah Urpa. There is no how. There is just be, Yoda said. There is no how. It isn't about how. It's just about you get healthier, then you punch the shark in the snoot. If you're not healthy, you're shark bait. Period. Rose. Hi, Rose. I do not think that the abuse was a gift. Yes, I understand, Mark, your mindset about this person led you to what you needed to work on. But for me, calling it a gift removes the responsibility. Rose, you're wrong. Hate to say it. Don't mean to cause trouble, but you're wrong. They're, they don't have responsibility, Rose, because my fiance, I got on Match.com and I didn't know that evil people like her existed, and I slept with her on the second date. I moved her in 3 months. This was a long time ago. I wouldn't do that now. I'm healthier now. So it is a gift, and it can be embraced as a gift, and they don't have power over you. And Rose, you need to go back and under my Uprooting Victim Mentality playlist on YouTube, you got to get some insight. They did not victimize you. They're not responsible for your life. You're responsible for your life. Now Jackie's asking people to send her money. Jackie, you're telling people to wear in black and give you money. I must know what's going on. Thanks, Zach. Twana says, thanks for normalizing my dissociative experience. Sarah says, thanks. I guess I'm sleepy tonight. I'm yawning. Mark, how can you be sure ACOAs can't be good parents? They may be very sensitive toward the pain that we cause and take responsibility when we mess up our kids. And, well, the problem, Alexander, is a lot of parents who grew up with alcoholic parents, they try too hard and they give too much and they love too much. And I'm telling you, just because you go to ACOA meetings and go to a little therapy, you're not going to be a great parent. You're going to damage your kids. Probably going to damage them because you try to be too good and love them too much, which actually is pretty much just as damaging as abandoning them. Jane Jones, do you believe that there is a gang of stalking narcissists that are organized at elite levels? I do not believe that, but it would make a really good movie. Money can't buy you love. What are you talking about, Jackie? Asina, Mark, you're the Glenda the Good Witch on a Harley. I don't know if that's good or bad. Aga, I went to bed with my second narc 3 weeks after the first date. Well, you did better than me. Let me back up. Alexander says, letting them know they can sort things out with us goes a long way, as you naturally want to resolve conflict with your parents directly and get this privilege. No, Alexander, I agree. We're better parents than the parents that we grew up with, but we're not great parents. Early in recovery, we're probably not even good parents. Later in recovery, we're probably great parents. Good parents, at least. Deborah, I can get a rental easily. I'm dreading telling them. Last time I was told that without me, basically everything would fall apart and it would be my fault. I don't know what that means. Soren, you can buy cocaine and hookers for those interested in acting out money. Okay, just saying, says Soren. So Jackie's referencing a song. Sanella, like Glenda, you're telling us that we have the power with us all along. You have ruby slippers. You just have to click them together 3 times. Oh, excuse me. Maria, Deborah, I am leaving a man who is raising 2 young daughters. 3 years ago, they were headed to foster care. He told me, and I stayed, so they didn't have to go to foster care. 3 years later, I'm leaving. Many times, as codependents, we give and give and give, and we rescue people. And we're good at rescuing people, but we're not very good at taking care of ourselves. Tiffany or Alexander, what makes a great parent? Wow, they're wise. They've done a lot of work in their recovery. They're not reactive. They really listen. They have time. They don't have an addiction. They have an equal partner. They're nurturing. They're empathetic. They don't love too much. They have boundaries. Not too many great parents out there, brother. Tiffany, what terrifies me, what do we do that damages our kids as much as narcissists damage us? I'm trying so hard not to pass on generational parental problems. Just relax about that. Do your best. You're going to harm your kids. It's not the end of the world. I'm happy to say, and I shouldn't say, but my youngest daughter's in therapy. I'm so proud. She's in therapy. Michelle, can't we do full-on recovery, reparenting, differentiation, and then be good parents? Man, I'm just making y'all fussy about this parenting thing. You can be better parents. You can be way, way, way better parents than your parents were. I look at it like this, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being perfectly healthy. There's no 10s emotionally. There's no 9s, 8s, 7s, or 6s on the planet. And a narcissist is a 2.5 or a 2, and most of us are about a 3. The national average is 3. And do all the recovery and therapy you want, and if you get to 4.5, you're Mother Teresa, man. You're really somebody that's done a lot of work. So you're going to be imperfect and you're going to hurt your kids. So deal with that, y'all. But you can be good. You can be, I think all 3 of my kids would tell you that I'm a good parent. But they'd also tell you that at my worst, I was a very hurtful parent about 15 years ago. Soren, having Mark say that makes my heart sing. Which part is making your heart sing, Soren? Did you find those statistics somewhere about parenting? Y'all are killing me on this parenting thing. No, this isn't. I didn't find any statistics at all. Oh, you mean the 1 through 10? No, that's just my theory. No science. Hi, Audrey. No science, but 30 years of being a therapist. There's no 10s, there's no 9s, there's no 8s, there's no 7s, there's no 6s on planet Earth. And if you get up to being a 4, you're rocking and rolling. Soren says the part about parenting and recovery. Soren says I'm right, so I must be right. And it makes his heart sing, so there. So Sandra says, so the best parents on earth are mediocre? Absolutely. That's the truth. Marlene, Thank you. Now I don't feel so guilty. My mother was a narcissist and my dad couldn't show love. And Marlene says I was a distant parent. All I cared about was piano and painting. That's what I'm saying. U.S. Mail, what's up, dog? He likes being pointed out when he comes on the show, so I have to point out U.S. Mail. U.S. Mail, like, like the United States Mail? Is that what you mean? You know what? I'm all caught up to where you are. Soren says, I've been to several family homes that are healthy, like a 5 or a 6, and it's a completely different culture. All right, Soren, did you stay there for very long? Did you stay for like 6 months? Because if you stay for very long, then the doo-doo comes out. Okay. What about your question, Jackie? I missed it. Okay, Annie, can you enlighten me as to what you did to get your bipolar child to accept help? There is a book out there called I'm Not Sick and I Don't Need Help. I think the author's name is Amador. And he speaks about a very logical, non-reactive approach to discussing what is best for communicating with somebody with bipolar disorder, because if you have bipolar disorder, you have something wrong with your brain, and you just can't hold on to the concept that yes, indeed, you do have bipolar disorder. So it's called I'm Not Sick and I Don't Need Help. And that's the best book I've found on the subject. Been very helpful to my daughter, and my ex-wife read it, and my wife read it, and my son read it, and my other daughter read it. Deborah Atkinson, I have a whole room full of things. I need a man and a van. I will probably wait until I know they are not here. That's what I did with an ARC 2 years ago. Deborah, get a van, but stay away from men. Just saying. Jackie, what was your question? Sarah, parents can only give what they are capable. That, for me, is how I'm healing and accepting and forgiving my parents. Jane Jones, are social workers helpful therapists? If they've done their own therapy and they're aware of narcissistic abuse syndrome, and then they did 10 more years of therapy, and they struggled through some issues, therapists can be some of the best. I happen to be a clinical social worker my own self, but it ain't because I learned in graduate school. I did learn about family trees and genograms in graduate school, and I did learn that you marry your issues, and those are real important things for me to have learned. But social workers could be great. You can have a life coach with no degree and then be a great therapist. Jerry Wise is not a licensed therapist, but he's more helpful than 99% of the therapists on the planet. My wife, Renda Smith, is not a licensed therapist. She probably will be one soon. I believe she took her test, and we'll find out, but she'll get her MSW fairly soon. But right now she's a life coach, and she's 99% more helpful than most of the therapists on the planet, in my opinion. What's your question, Jackie? Gilligan says, do in 3, 2, 1. Wild Roses. Well, you know, if my parenting skills for my dog are any indication as how I parent a child, I still have a lot of work to do. My dog is a spoiled brat. Mr. Polly spoiled. I'm a bad doggy parent. Okay. I'm sorry I'm yawning. I haven't been getting enough sleep. Jackie, I'm listening to a nice Easter hymn, and I get a rude comment about it. I have to react or I'm going to go ballistic. Do I hide in my own house or wear earphones? I am sick of head games. Jackie, I believe that you are getting your buttons pushed. It's okay to be angry, but you're fussy britches. And when you get to be fussy britches, then you're not very objective and you're reactive. Deborah says, I have my real family in my room, 4 pots of ashes. When I leave here, I'm going to finally let them go, I've decided. Deborah, your family is in 4 pots of ashes and you're going to leave them behind? They must have been some real stinkers, I'm telling you what. Okay. So, Jackie, when it comes to my belief, I respect others and I expect the same. Is that not fair? Jackie, you're being fussy britches. Your button has been pressed and you're being it isn't about right or wrong. It's about when somebody does us wrong, can we react in a way that's not reactive and still be powerful? That's the thing. Release them and walk out the door of that house and don't look back. I think she's talking about narcissists, not about the person who made fun of Jackie's song. Jackie, take a deep breath and get to the root of your fussy britches. Because whenever you have fussy britches, even if you're right, you're wrong. Just saying. Somebody got deleted. Do we have a troll trolling about? Soren says, it's about people who can or cannot respect boundaries and what they're willing to put up with. No, Jackie says, I'm going to put speakers in my house and crank them up real high. My music, my life. Jackie, you have fussy britches. Sarah, today I had my tire almost blow, so I had to take it to the shop. I was telling my narcissist about it afterwards. I told him I had Friday off, and all he said was, we will eat seafood on the weekend. No surprise there. He's a narcissist. That's what they do. They sort of act selfish. All right, dudes. I'm going to read this long question, and I have to make up a name. We're going to call her Bobby Sue. So that's from Bobby Sue. And I have some printer issues, so if I don't get it all read properly, then bear with. Dear Mark Smith, between you and your colleague, Jerry Wise, I am so truly grateful. After listening to videos for the past week, non-stop, yours and Jerry's, I feel tremendous gratitude and relief from your resources. I too have gone through narcissistic, sociopathic abuse. It was a nightmare. I thought I was completely trapped, and slowly I am gaining my power to heal. I downloaded your book recommendation, Psychopath Free, last night and almost finished reading it in one day. Uh, it is a book that I could have easily written about my own experience. I refuse to allow anyone to drive me crazy anymore. I am in the quiet, lonely, but learning stage. I have few people to share the truth with. It's tricky. I have gone no contact with a love relationship, almost 90 days, getting easier given the book. I have also gone gray rock, no contact with a group of my siblings and a sister-in-law who went nutty during the holidays. You got to watch out for those family members who go nutty during the holidays. I ask why I, the quiet one, got trapped. I am relentless on getting my life back. Well, Bobby Sue, you got trapped because you were weak and because you were susceptible to getting trapped. The wolves don't pick out the strongest sheep who's leading the pack, they pick off the stragglers. So, but I love it when you say, I'm relentless on getting my life back. Woohoo. I am smart, empathetic, but I keep to myself. And now I am aware of crazy. I'm aware that people will try to steal your soul. It's truly crazy. Thank you for recommending this book. I feel like I have some support. Oh, so this is the first letter from Bobby Sue, and she said, please read my letter, change my name. Although I doubt my family will be watching this show trying to self-improve. Probably right about that. It is the least I can offer for all that you do. I have felt small. I have felt defeated. I have felt walked on. A therapist said I need to learn to speak my truth. So perhaps this letter is a step of the truth. Amen. Bobby Sue, amen. Speak your truth in this letter. I believe myself a person able to speak my truth in a TED Talk someday. Bobby Sue going to do a TED Talk someday. I want to get that one and watch it. I want to be well prepared emotionally, cognitively, to tell my story in a way that does not attack folks, but shows what I've figured out. The online community and resources are my current family and a way of freedom, sort of like the Underground Railroad. Y'all in the Church of the Narcissistically Abused, did y'all know that we're like the Underground Railroad? That's pretty cool. I dig that. Sometimes I add a splash of humor as a way to look at these people. They're just characters. I roll my eyes, I play dumb, or I walk away instead of getting trapped in their venomous web. But truthfully, I feel sad about my family. It does not make sense to me. I have to trust myself, stay away, and grow myself. They will never, ever destroy the real me. My sense of humor, my kind heart. In a few short days, I've actually come to realize that I count. It is like I forgot. I was afraid to go no contact, but Jerry's So What video gave me the courage. I'm still learning to walk. Today I said to myself, I'm doing it. And Psychopath Free is my friend in the background playing all day since 5 a.m. I listen to Psychopath Free about 15 times myself. And it says, thank you, Big. I don't know if it meant Big Brother or Big Fella. just says, thank you, Big. Maybe I'm just fat. I don't know what she's saying. Okay, that's all the questions that I got. So I'm going to back up and take some more of your commentations. Here we go. Kate Nadine says, Jackie, you can have emotions and anger, but you must react rationally. Stay safe, girl. Just saying. I keep going ahead too far. Okay. Oh man, I really shot ahead. Man, I shot way ahead. Jackie says she was born off balance. Soren says holidays are fucking awful. I wish I could rip up November and January off the calendar. Jackie says, Mark, can I throw gray rocks at him? Jackie, I'm pretty sure the whole concept of going gray rock doesn't include casting gray rocks at the narcissistic person. I don't think that's what it meant by that. Man, I really shot ahead. I missed all these comments. Okay, I'm going to move forward. Don Frederick, narcissistic abuse at epidemic levels. Seems so to me. Yes, I believe that narcissistic abuse is an epidemic. I don't know, because 2 narcissists had 7 kids, and then they created 5 narcissists, and they went all out and had 3 kids. Do the math. All right, I'm going to move ahead here. Okay, so Sandra said, what do you do when people go no contact with you because they see you as an unsafe person? It's devastating to lose your family that way. Well, Sandra, I've been the yawningest guy tonight ever. There's nothing much you can do about it. You know, if you love somebody, let them go. If they're yours, they'll come back to you. But I wouldn't pay it no never mind. Just go on and be happy, and find people who do want to be with you. Don't give them too much